Hello friends, today we have discussed about one sorting algorithm which name is bubble sort. So here before that once again I tell you what do you mean by sorting. If one list is given, okay, then we just sort this list either in ascending order or in descending order. Okay, suppose one list is like this. Here is one list is given like this: 5, 15, 20, then 16, then 13. Okay, so then what we are doing? We just sort that list, and after using the sorting technique, we sort the list, and the list is here sorted like in ascending order: 5, 13, then 15, then 16, then 20. Okay, so this type of list is called as the list is in sorted order and the list is sorted in ascending order. Okay, so if we sort that list in descending order, then the answer is like this: 20, 16, 15, then 13, then 5. Okay, so for doing this, if the list is given like this and for doing that sorting, so how we sort it? We are using different types of techniques to sort that particular algorithm. So among these technique, the bubble sort is one of them. Okay, so what do you mean by that bubble sort? The name here it is mentioned that like a bubble we sort it. Okay, so whenever we throw a stone into one pond, so the here the bubble is like this, it can go towards this and finally it erases. Okay, so like this the movement of the sorting is like a bubble, so that's why the name here is suggested we called it as a bubble sort. Okay, so how this sorting techniques here, by using that sorting technique, how we sort that list? Okay, so suppose here given here I am given one small array. I just expand the array number of elements. Okay, so for better understanding, here I am writing 4, then another value here I introduce 6. Okay, so first what we are doing, we taking the first element. Okay, and the first element is here compare with the second element. Okay, so whenever it is compared with the second element, so what we find out? We find out that the second element which is larger than the first element. So what here our technique, what we are doing? So we interchange the value because the first value is the smallest value and we interchange the value and the second value is the larger value. Okay, so here whenever the first value is smallest and the second value is here larger, we compare it, and here not any interchange we are doing. Why? Because this is the smallest value and this is the largest value. If the opposite is there, that means 15 is the means in this position the smallest value is there and here 15 is there. Okay, instead of 15 here 5 is there and 15 is here, so we interchange, and that 15 is going to the 5 place and 5 is going to the 15 place. But here the 15 is larger than the 5, so we are not interchanging the values, so all the values are remain is as it is for the second iteration. Okay, so next what we are doing here? So already the 5 and 15s are compared, then we compare with that of the 20. So 20 is compared and we know that the 20 is less than that of 15, so as it is, so not any changed. We once again copied the same thing here and write down here. Here it is 13, here it is 4, here it is 6. Okay, so next what we are doing here? 20 is compared with 16. Okay, so whenever the 20 is compared with 16, we know that the 20 is here greater than that of the 16. Okay, so whenever we find out any greater element, so 5, 15, 16 is here coming to interchange the position of these two values. Okay, that means we swap it, we interchange it. Okay, so 16 is coming here and 20 is here. Now 13 is here, then 4 is here, then 6 is here. Okay, so now next for the last. Okay, so the last value, what we are doing here, we just write down the 5, the 15. Okay, so the next comparison is in between 20 and that of the 13, because up to this is over. Okay, so 16 is here. Now the 13 is the larger element, sorry, smaller element. So 13 is coming here, and then 20, then 4, and then 6. Okay, so look at the movement here. Like a bubble, the movement is one after another. Then next we compare with the 4 with that of the 20. Okay, I just erase the first list, which is the starting list. I just erase it. So what is the value here? I erase it and I write down the next values here. What is the next result? I just write down here. So the total list I am here write down. Okay, so look at this. After that, okay, 20 and 4, we compare it. Okay, so the 4 is the smallest element. So what we are writing here? Writing 5, then 15, then 16, then 13, then 4, and then 20. Okay, so the next pass, what we are doing here? Okay, so 20 here and 6 is there. Okay, so next pass, what we are doing here? We just erase this thing. Okay, so this list I erased, and look at this. So after erasing this list, so what is the new value? Now we just interchange these last two elements, but remain these two elements are not interchanged. So we compare these two elements. So 5, 15, 16, 13, 4, 6 and 20. Okay, so look at this result. That means whenever we are get that result, so the 20 is which is the highest element. Okay, which value is the highest, it can get its appropriate position. Okay, so among the list, so the highest is 20. The 20 can get its appropriate position. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many number of elements are there? 7 number of elements are there. Okay, and 20 it can get its appropriate position whenever it is bubble sort. That means after the first pass. Okay, so how many number of passes here we are doing? We are here doing the number of pass is equal to the how many number of elements here are in that particular list. We are doing the pass up to this number of elements. Okay, so here how many number of elements? 7 number of elements are there. So we using the pass for the 7 number of elements. Okay, so after the first pass, so what is the result here? After the first pass, the largest element, which is here 20, which it can stay in at its appropriate position. Okay, so we then doing the bubble sort within this list. Okay, so next, for the next pass, for the second pass, the input is this list. Okay, so if you write down this in the above list, if we write down this, suppose here 6 and 20 I am writing in the above list, and I here write down that 6 and here that 20, 6 and 20. Okay, so for the second pass, this is the next input. So whatever be the result for the from the first pass, this is the input for the second pass. Okay, so the second pass here, how many number of comparisons are there? The comparison is 1 less than to the total number of comparison. Okay, so suppose how many number of here comparison? First it can compare with this, but here 20 is in its appropriate position. So we are not comparing this 20 once again. So our comparison is restricted up to 6. Okay. So next, in the second pass, whenever we are taking the first pass result as the input for the second pass, okay, so then we store it this here. Then after we compare once again 5 with 15. Okay, so whenever 5 is compared with 15, so remain as it is. Okay, so next here it is 5, here it is 15, then all the remaining are same, because whenever we compare, we only compare one element at a time. Okay, so next we compare with the 15 to that of the 16. Okay, so 15 is compared with 16. So what is the result here? 5, 15, then 16, then 13, then 4, then 6, then 20. Okay, so next what we compare here? We compare 16 with 13. So what is the result here? So look at the result. The result is like this: 5, 15, then 13, then 16, then 4, then 6, then 20. Okay, so after that what we are doing? We compare that 16 with the 4. Okay, so like the bubble, the movement is here, like the bubble, whenever the bubble is a movement, okay, so the bubble movement is in that pond. So like this, it can go to next like this. Okay, so 5, 15, 13, 4, okay, 16, then 6, then 20. Is it so or not? Okay, so 16, 4, 6 and 20. Okay, so next is here 6 is compared with that of the 16. Okay, so what is the next result here? Here I am writing the result at the above. Okay, so I just erase this thing and once again I copied here. Okay, so what is the final result of this? So look at this, how many number of steps here? The steps are decreased. Okay, so first, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth, because 7 number of elements, 20 is constant. So how many number of steps are here? In the second pass there are 6 number of steps. Okay, so the last answer for the second pass is equal to 5, 15, 13, 4, then here 6, then 16, then 20. Look at this, here it interchange the value because 6 is less than 16, so interchange it. So finally, after the second pass, this is the result. Okay, so whenever we are find out this is the result, okay, so this is input for the third pass. Okay, and after the second pass, the second largest elements is its appropriate position. Look at this. This is the important point here, you remember. After first pass, the first largest element which is at its appropriate position. After the second pass, the second largest element which is its appropriate position. Okay, so we go for the third pass. Okay, in that third pass, so what we are doing? The last element which is the result of the second pass, which is here the input for the third pass. Okay, so we change it as third pass. So here this is the third pass. Okay, so in the third pass the input is the second pass result, and look at this, the two elements are here already sorted. Okay, because this is the third pass. So how many number of comparisons here? This. Okay, so next we write down here, look at this. So once again I write down all the values. 5 is compared with 15 and the 15 is larger, 5 is smaller. So all these elements are remain same. Okay, so once again the comparison is like this. 15 is compared with 13. So first 5 is compared with 15, 15 is compared with 13. So here 5 and here 13, here 15, here 4, 6, then 16, then 20. Okay, so next here for the next pass, look at this, for the next step, not pass. Okay, so here 13, 15 is compared once again. Here 15 is compared with 4. So 4 is less than that of 15. So 4 is coming here, 15 is coming here, 16 is here. Okay, sorry, 6 is here, not 16. 6 is here, then 16 is here, then 20 is here. Okay, so once again this 15 is compared with that 6. Okay, so whenever it is compared with the 6, so what we are doing here, the 6 is going to the 15 position and 15 is going to the 6 position. Okay, so here 6 and 15 and 16 and 20. Okay, so look at this. How many number of steps are here? Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, how many comparisons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, because in the third pass, 2 elements are already sorted. Okay, but after the third pass, 3 elements are already sorted. Look at this. So this is the logic for the bubble sort. Okay, so whenever we sort for the next, so how many number of steps are? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so like this it decrease and finally we are getting the result. Okay, so how we getting the result? Just change it after the third pass. What is the fourth pass input? So here I am writing the total elements. Okay, and explain all the things here detailed. Okay, so 5, 13, 4 and 6. So this is the next input for the fourth pass. Okay, so look at this. For the fourth pass, 3 already sorted elements are there, which is the sorting is from the right side, from the descending order it is sorting. Okay, so the largest, first largest, the second largest and the third largest all are in its appropriate position. Okay, so this is the fourth pass. Okay, so the fourth pass input is here the third pass result. Okay, so here you know that 3 elements are already sorted. Okay, so then how many number of comparison? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 number of comparisons are there. So once again I make another list. Okay, so here this is one array. We naming here the array name as array A, and we indexing like this. In the previous all the indexing you know that how you indexing there. Okay, so here also you follow the same rule. So I am writing here 5 is compared with 13. Look at this, 5 is compared with 13, and as the 5 is here less than that of the 13, so remain as it is. So next comparison is 13 with that of the 4. Okay, so look at this. So here 20 is as it is, 16 is as it is, 15 is as it is, and 5, and here 13 and 4, which is less? 4 is less, so 13 is coming to 4th position and 4 is coming to 13th position. Okay, so next comparison is in between these two elements. So look at this. So it clearly seen that how many number of elements are there? 7 number of elements. 3 comparisons already over. Then the next 4 comparisons are there. Okay, so that 6 and 13 is compared and we know that 6 is less than that of the 13, so remain as it is. Look at this, how the result look like. So after the fourth pass, so 4 elements are already sorted. Okay, so the last 4th elements are already sorted, 13, 15, 16 and 20, and this is the input for the 5th pass. Okay, so how many number of passes are there? Number of elements passes are there. So how many number of elements previously? 7th number of elements are there. Okay, so in that 5th pass, the 4th pass result is the input for the 5th pass. Okay, so I write down here what is the answer. Look at this. Here it is 16, here it is 15, here it is 13. Okay, so then is 5, 4 and 6. Okay, so then I delete all the elements and then I write down what is the result of the 5th pass. So look at this. Here 4 is compared with that of the 5. Okay, so whenever 4 is compared with 5, I know that the 4 is smaller than that of the 5. So we write down 4, 5, 6. This comparison is here, then 13, then 15, 16 and 20. Okay, so once again here 5 is compared with that of the 6. Okay, so what is the result here? Here 4, 5, 6, then 13, then 15, then 16, then 20. Okay, so this is the result of the fifth pass. Only how many comparisons here? 3 comparisons, because 3 elements are remain there. Okay, so once again I write down here, this is the input for the, this is the in the output of the previous fifth pass is the input for the sixth pass. Okay, so here this is the input for the sixth pass. So already in the fifth pass, how many number of comparison already over? 1, 2, 3, 4, and here 6 is already over. Okay, so then next we compare with this to this. Okay, so here 4, then 5, then 6, then 13, then 15, then 16, then 20. Okay, so how many comparison only here? 4 is compared with 5, 5 is compared with that of the 6 and over. Okay, so only one comparison here after 6th pass, and this is the input for the 7th pass. Okay, so whenever we are write down, this is the input. Here 4 is compared with 5. Okay, and finally we are getting the answer. 4 is compared with 5 and we are getting the answer after this pass. Clear? So this is all about, this is the result after the sorting. Okay, this is the final result. So 4, 5, 6, 13, then 15 and 16 and 20. Okay, so look at this. How many number of elements are here? 7 elements are here. So after the 7th pass, we are getting the result. Okay, so this is all about the technique. Which technique we write down our algorithm, and in our programming also we follow the technique and we write down our program. So next here I write down the algorithm, and according to the algorithm I also give an example, another example, and solve the particular problem by using that algorithm. The same algorithm here, whatever technique I already explained, the same thing here I explain in that algorithm also. Okay, so in the previous video, I here write down like this. The name of the array is A and n is the number of elements. Okay, so here also we explain what do you mean by A and what do you mean by n. So here A is the name of the array. So all the algorithm is writing style is same. You first explain what are the different values here we are using. Okay, so we explain all these things in the above within a square bracket. Here A is the name of the array and n is the number of elements, and n is the number of elements. Okay, so next you write down step 1. So here I divide it into 2 parts. Step 1. Step 1. In each and every algorithm we write down this step 1, which is start. Step 2. Here I write down repeat step 3 and 4. Repeat step 3 and 4. How many times? For, here I am using one looping statement, for I equal to 0 to n minus 1. Okay, so already I explained this thing that we repeat it up to 0 to I 0 to n minus 1 number of elements. Okay, in the step 3, here I am write down set j equal to 0. Why we write down set j equal to 0? Because we take another variable to interchange the values. Okay, so we interchange that j with the j plus 1, then next element, then next element. Okay, so for that we are using here another variable j variable. So repeat while, how many number of steps we are repeat here? Repeat while j is less than equal to n minus I. Okay, why it is written as I? Because I is starting from 0 to n minus 1. So we repeat the statements. How many times we repeat it? We repeat it with j is less than equal to n minus I. So first we here compare with the n number of elements, then n minus 1 number of elements, then n minus 2 number of elements, and finally we end our algorithm. Okay, so next I write down here if aj is greater than a j plus 1. Okay, interchange means swap the two elements. Interchange aj and aj plus 1. That means the previous element and the next element we interchange it. Okay, then j equal to j plus 1. Okay, so next step 5 exit. Okay, so give one example. I once again explain these things. So here step 5 is exit. So here I am writing another example. Okay, so here within this example I am taking only 5 elements. Okay, and all the list here I write down in the descending order and we sort it in ascending order. Okay, for better understanding we are taking the list like this. That means all the elements are in descending order and we sort it at ascending order. So we start repeat step 3 and 4 for I equal to 0 to n minus 1. So number of elements n is here 5. Okay, so n is here equal to 5. Okay, we start our step from a0 to here. How many number of elements? A5. Okay, so here this is A1, here this is A2, here this is A3, sorry, here it is A4, not 5. 5 number of elements are there. Okay, so here it is A4. Okay, then set j equal to 0. So initially we set the j value equal to 0. Okay, so why we do like this? Because we interchange this with this with this. Okay, so that's why we are here writing j equal to 0. We are taking another value. Okay, so repeat while j is less than equal to n minus I. So how many number of here interchange we are doing? Okay, so j is less than equal to n minus I. That means first the interchange is up to this, second the interchange is up to this, third the interchange is up to this, fourth the interchange is up to this, and finally we end it. Okay, so next if this is the repeat, so how we interchange it? We interchange the j value with the j plus 1 value. Okay, so initially the j value is 0. That means the j plus 1 is initially 1. So first we interchange 0 with 1. Okay, then we interchange if aj is greater than aj plus 1. That means if it is greater than, then only we interchange. Otherwise we are not interchange it. Okay, so interchange the aj and aj plus 1. Then we increment the j plus 1. J equal to j plus 1. Okay, so how we do it? Here this is the jth value, this is the j plus 1th value. Okay, so this condition is satisfied. Okay, so we interchange it. Look at this, we interchange it. We interchange it and finally here it is 40 and here it is 50. Okay, so this step is over. Then we increment the j value, j equal to j plus 1. Okay, so now the j value is what? J value now is 1. Okay, j value is now 1. Okay, सो हम कितने तक रिपीट करेंगे? रिपीट while j is less than equal to n minus I. Okay, so that means j is repeated here n minus 1 position, and here if aj is greater than aj plus 1, now this j value is 1. Okay, so this is the j value. Okay, and this aj is greater than j plus 1, so j plus 1 is here now 2. Okay, so aj is here 50 and aj plus 1 is now 30. Okay, so 50 is greater than that of 30. Yes, the condition is satisfied. So what we are doing? We interchange it. Okay, so then 50 is coming here and 30 is here. Okay, so next, once again we increment the j value. So the j value is now from 1 to it is converted to 2. Okay, so it is converted to 2, and once again j is with comparison with j plus 1. So whenever j equal to 2, j plus 1 equal to 3. Okay, so this second position element is now compared with the third position element. So it is also greater than, the 50 is greater than that of the 20. So what we are doing? We here writing 20, here writing 50. Once again this j equal to j plus 1. So the j value is now changed from 2 to 3 and j plus 1 is now changed from 3 to 4. Okay, so here the third element is once again compared with the fourth element. This element is compared with this element. Okay, so what we are doing? The 10 is coming to this position and 50 is coming here. Okay, so now what we are doing? We compare up to how much j is less than equal to n minus I. Okay, so now the j is less than equal to, the j value is now 30, and in the next step the j value is now converted to 4. Okay, so whenever it is 4, okay, so the comparison is up to how much? Up to that 4, because j is less than equal to n minus I. N is here equal to 5. Okay, and here n minus I equal to that 4. Okay, sorry, n minus I equal to, here n equal to 5, n minus I in the first step it is 5. So the comparison is up to this, we then end it. So 4, whenever it is coming to this line, it is converted to 4 to 5. Okay, so once again we stop our algorithm in that particular position. Okay, so then next we repeat while j is less than equal to n minus I. That means up to this we repeat our algorithm and we stop there. Okay, so whenever we stop our algorithm, that means this is the end of the first pass. Okay, so this is the end of the first pass. Then we go to the second step. Look at this. Repeat step 3 and 4 for I equal to 0 to n minus 1. So this 3 and 4 step. Okay, so we repeated it and we just compare it and interchange it after the finish of the first pass. So whenever the first pass is completed, whenever it is n minus I. So after the first pass, the n equal to here 5 and we compare it with here 4 times, and whenever the value getting here less than or equal to the n minus I, we stop it. Then after this is here 50 is not compared. Okay, and the I is also incremented, I equal to from 0 to 1. So our comparison is how much? Here I equal to 1 to n minus 1. N minus 1 means how much? Here 4. Okay, so we compare it to 4 times. So like this we proceed further and we are getting the next value. Here it is 40 sorted, then here it is 30 sorted, then here 20 sorted, then we are getting the final result 10 here. Okay, so after the fifth pass we are getting the sorted list, which is 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50, and the input is here 50, 40, 30, 20 and 10. Okay, so by using this type of algorithm, I sort here the bubble sort. Okay, so by using this algorithm, we sort one list and we find out in the bubble sort how we sort that particular list. In ascending order, we sort it like this, and in descending order, we sort whenever we are finding our smallest element at its last position. Okay, so here we sort for the largest element, like this we sort for the smallest element also. Thank you.